Heyo guys, my name is BetaEtaDelota, and welcome to the beginning of a brand new series that's been heavily requested for a year now, Furry Advice with Beta, or Furry Advice with Maverick, whichever you'd prefer. So with how things are kind of the way they are in the world currently, a lot of my planned content for this spring and summer has to unfortunately be thrown on the back burner. I had a bunch of videos about fur meets, furry conventions, and meeting friends in the furry fandom planned for this upcoming con season, and with 4 conventions being cancelled or delayed at this point, I don't see any of it being really useful. I'd rather create videos like that with a purpose or necessity, and I don't think you guys really need that advice on fur meets and furry conventions at this current time. We'll do it later, I promise. Either way, I still want to help you guys out, because one of the big things I've been getting a lot recently are comments, messages, emails, texts, I don't know why some of you actually have my phone number, asking me very specific questions or talking about life-related problems with regards to the furry fandom and your guys' involvement in it. Sometimes there's a lot of context in the situation and I can work with it, and sometimes there's absolutely nothing for me to work with and I'm stumped on what to do. So with these factors in mind, I wanted to use this series as an opportunity to give you guys some answers and potential solutions for these different situations. Although I won't be going through every question or comment, I'm sure you guys can apply these examples to your current situations. The way this works is I'll be going through the emails and questions you guys have sent me asking for advice, and in each installment, I'll go over a specific theme or topic relating to those questions. And if you want to know how you can submit your own questions or ask for advice on a certain thing, I'll explain it at the end of the video. But as for the beginning of the series, I wanted to start things off strong, but also simple, and talk about opening up about your furry hobby with your friends and family. And to a lot of you, this is the idea of coming out as a furry, even though I don't think you should treat it like that at all. And I mean it, but we'll get onto why later on. Although I won't be able to go through every question or comment, I'm sure you guys can apply these examples to your current situations. Just keep in mind that this topic is very finicky, and each scenario needs a different approach when opening up about your furry hobby due to factors such as how strict or understanding your parents or friends might be, but hopefully the questions I receive will help you better understand how to approach things. So with that, let's get started. Alright, our first question or submission comes from Lycan the Werewolf. Hello Beta, I'm probably going to tell my family that I'm a furry soon, in about a month. Oh, this email's from October. So, how'd it go? I'm a little nervous about it and I want to make sure I don't mess up. I plan on playing your video Mom Dad I'm a Furry for them. Is there anything else I should make sure I do or tell them when I talk to them? That's actually a really good question, because I've been trying to figure out the right way to approach this myself. I know originally I have the Mom Dad I'm a Furry video, which is the video to show your friends and family if you're looking to tell them about the furry fandom, and granted there are a ton of options that you can go for, but I don't know which one is necessarily the right way to go. And this kind of plays into how much you know your friends or family. Like, do they prefer to watch videos? Do they prefer to read articles? Would they prefer you explain it to them face to face? It really depends on that entirely. And from there you can tailor it however you want. You can show them my channel and other videos that might help with the explanation. Some videos to highlight are my online safety, con meetup, and meetup safety videos. There are plenty of other furry informational channels you can go to, like Picari and the Moms of Furries, who are happy to help with any questions about the fandom. More than likely, if you're talking to your family, they're gonna want to read something about it. And of course, you don't want them to get the bad articles from like Vice or something, but probably the best thing you can do, especially if this is your family or parents we're talking about, is check out the first science articles I linked in the original video. And the most important thing you can do about talking to your parents about this is be chill and nonchalant about it. Don't make it something they should worry about based on your manner or tone. Ultimately, the furry fandom is a hobby for you. You're more than likely passionate about it, you want to visit these conventions, meetups, and want to be more open about what you're interested in. Plain and simple. But regardless of that, the Mom Dad I'm a Furry video is exactly the message I wanted to achieve, and those other videos, channels, and articles I mentioned are good follow-ups after that introduction. So Noah, you're more than welcome to use any of those options, if it's still viable 5 months later. Thank you, Lycan. Our next submission or question comes from Asher, also known as Pine. So hi, I'm a furry. That's the easy part. But my family doesn't really like furries. And by doesn't really like, I mean that anytime I talk about it, it always escalated into an argument. Every time. I really love my family, but I also really love being a furry. Pine is so cute. What should I do? Alright, I've got the perfect solution for this. You should definitely drop your family and be a full-time furry. Easy solution. Easy answer. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is actually a very good example of a generalized case with little context, not knowing what the parents argued about, how involved in the fandom Asher is, but understanding that there is some conflict between it. There is an important aspect of this though, your love for both the fandom and not wanting to hurt your family through your passions. And that's a very key point to keep in mind. The first thing I could honestly recommend, try sending them the original video I did, Mom Dad I'm a Furry. That's probably the best bet. If you can get them to watch it, you might have some change results. And if you've tried talking in a chill manner about it, it, if you've tried mentioning it to them here and there, even on a good day, try the opposite of that and try sitting down with them in a serious manner. Really emphasize the passion that you have for this fandom and the good things that have come from it. Like I said before with parents, the best thing you can do is get the feel of what appeals to them the most. Not just with articles or videos, but in terms of if they're having a good day or a bad day. That's also another thing. You know your parents better than any of us. Use those different aspects of the furry fandom that really do stand out in your presentation to get your parents into your favor. Now I know there isn't an exact answer to this situation, it's kind of vague, but the one piece of parting advice I can give is that if you're passionate enough about it and you are persistent in it, your family should eventually accept it. It could take a few days, a few months, a few years. My family isn't even fully accepting of it, but the one thing you should not do is give up. It's your hobby, it's a big passion in your life. Eventually, you just move out and you do your own thing as an adult. But honestly though, if you really are passionate about it, it might show your parents that maybe I'm wrong about this. So take that as you will. Thank you for the question, Asher. And our final submission comes from Magnum the Lynx. Hi, I'm a young fur who's just starting out and I told my parents that I'm a furry, but they think it's weird, but they won't say in what way though. This is a problem because I want to get furry merch, apparel, art, etc. And they won't let me, saying that I'm doing business with weirdos. I'm pretty sure they think it's a sex thing, but I'm not sure. I tried explaining that they're not bad, but they don't want to hear it. Any ideas? So this is definitely a bit more of a tame case, and there's a lot that we can apply to this whole thing based on what we said before, but we do have a couple more things we can add on to this. First off, who doesn't want to be weird? Being normal kinda sucks. That's boring. Change things up and be you. It's more fun that way. But there are definitely more aspects to this topic of telling your parents you're a furry that I want to talk about, such as the age gap, and I guess era that certain parents might be in compared to what I grew up with, but I won't bore you with that stuff right now. You want easy information with fast results, and I don't blame you. But similarly stated to the previous case, you might want to try a different approach with bringing it up to your parents. You might want to take a more lenient approach with it being chill and more of a hobby, or maybe more of a serious matter if they won't listen to you. If you think of it and talk about it as a hobby, then they'll treat it as such. If you're chill about it and talk about it as a normal thing, it should help out a lot. And it unfortunately goes for young furries, especially kids, that parents might not take them as seriously with regards to their passions, generally excusing it as a phase or something they'll outgrow. Although for some, the fandom might be a phase, for most, it is a lifelong hobby that a lot of people might not know how to explain to parents or friends properly. That's why I did that Mom Dad I'm a Furry video. That's why I did the follow-up interview with the moms of furries, and that's why I'm even doing this video. There are a lot of situations that really need time and different efforts put forward. I want to give you all the proper resources of being able to easily teach friends, family members, and pretty much anyone about the furry fandom. So you have a couple of options where you can go, and if worst case scenario happens, your parents don't listen to you and they don't care, you can go the more protective route, such as buying Hyena Agenda merch, which is very low key. It's sort of like the inside for furry merchandise. And most art that's digital nowadays you can just keep on your computer and out of sight. For all these cases, please don't give in. The last thing you should ever do is give up, especially on your passions. Be persistent and maybe things might work out. I don't want to guarantee it because I don't know what your family life is like, and my family is definitely different from all of your guys's. But honestly, I wish the best for all of you, and I hope things do work out. But that should do it for the first installment of Furry Advice with Maverick, or Beta. I still haven't figured that out yet. It's a work in progress. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any feedback or comments on some of the info that I gave, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. If not for me, who would use it for feedback in my next video, but more so for those who might need more advice than what I gave in this video. Again, everyone's situation is different, and their friends and family are different. We're all different. That's what makes being a human pretty cool. Now, the most important part that a lot of you probably want to know: how do I send in my questions or situations to Beta? Well, the best way you can do that is by emailing me at BetaEtaDelota@gmail.com. It's my business email. It's pretty much where I receive anything from fan art to questions to even submissions like this. All you have to really do is put furry advice in the subject somewhere for me to have, and I'll look through it and see if your submission will contribute to a future installment in the series. Also, feel free to send in any other questions or advice you might want with regards to the fandom that isn't just telling your friends or family you're a furry. Like, it could be anything that I mentioned briefly in a video that I could elaborate on a bit more, or it could just be some other minor thing about the fandom that I didn't really do a video on. So the future of the series is really up to you guys and what you want. Like I said, this thing is really up in the air, but I enjoy doing it regardless. So besides that, I've got nothing else. Have an awesome day, guys, and as always, stay life jacket. Take care.